Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your news edition. These are the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired a meeting of the High Council of Security on the 2025 report and the perspectives for the year 2026. The President of the Council of the Nation, Aziz Nasri, received union representatives of the transport sector. At the end of the meeting, they announced the return of transporters to work across the national territory. The beginning of 2026 marked the implementation of decisions announced by the President of the Republic in favor of citizens, such as the revaluation of retirement pensions, the minimum wage and the unemployment allowance in order to maintain the purchasing power. An application of the instructions of the President of the Republic to cover the needs of the national market in tires. The Naftal company receives the first part of imported tires destined to heavyweight trucks. Welcome back. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, chaired a meeting of the High Council of Security on the 2025 report and the perspectives for the year 2026 regarding national defense, situation at the borders with neighboring countries, as well as general situation of security inside the country. The President of the Council of the Nation, Aziz Nasri, received on Thursday union representatives of the transport sector. The meeting was attended by the National Union of Transport affiliated to the General Union of Algerian Workers, the National Union of Taxi Drivers, and the National Federation of Passengers and Merchandise Transporters affiliated to the General Union of Algerian Traders and Craftsmen. At the end of this meeting, the union representatives held a press conference to reassure the transporters and highlight the fact that the authorities took into consideration their concerns. They hailed the professional conscience and the civil spirit of the transporters who put the interests of the nation and the citizens at the heart of priorities while facing digital attacks aiming at destabilizing the country. The representatives also hailed the wisdom of the President of the Republic and his responsiveness towards the requests expressed, announcing the return of transporters to work and their renewed trust in state institutions. We listen.
Today, the road traffic law has sparked widespread controversy, fueled by numerous statements and several opinions leading to multiple interpretations. We have now received confirmation from the President of the Council of the Nation that the text has indeed been adopted but has not yet been definitively approved by the Council of the Nation. There's a strong likelihood that this law will be referred back to a joint committee. This clearly indicates that a review of the articles that have generated intense controversy remains possible, particularly those related to custodial sentences in case of wrongful death. The relevant authorities are fully aware of the concerns expressed by transport operators. We can therefore reassure the entire transport community, especially taxi drivers and professionals in the sector, of the state institutions' responsiveness led by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. Let it be known to everyone, whether private operators or bus owners, that their concerns, problems and demands have reached safe hands at the highest authority in the country. Where they have been met with understanding and goodwill, we highlighted two main issues: the revision of fare increases and the review of license renewal procedures. On this basis, we call on our colleagues to resume work without hesitation, as our slogan today, as we have previously stated, the homeland above all. We also express our sincere appreciation for the considerable efforts made to raise awareness among transport operators about the risks of deviation and instability encouraged by certain well-known internal and external parties. Thanks to God, the wisdom and foresight of Algerian institutions have prevailed. On this occasion, we have demonstrated that whether we are representatives, transporters, traders, craftsmen, citizens, or even authorities, Algeria comes before any other consideration. We were prepared to forego all our demands if a choice had to be made between Algeria and our personal interests. Thankfully, the sense of responsibility and collective awareness shown by our fellow union members was exemplary, enabling us to reach a consensual solution and a satisfactory outcome for all. Today, Algeria has prevailed thanks to the efforts and commitment of all stakeholders.
كل الأطراف ici t'engager بليك هذه عيون أكل les revendications إكسعان les transporteurs أما transporteurs voyageurs أما the taxi أما the transport en commun il est prêt à يسيوض les revendications أن يديقلاق بليك أستريقلين dans les meilleurs délais أن الدينير كان ونرنو هذا نشكر مليح والدينير تولي ترانسبورتور أكل ملان أكيد الولايات أما ذا التاكسي أما ذا ترانسبور فواياجور أما ذا كاميون هذو غالن إيميدياتمون يفون روجواندر لو ترافاي الساقير أزكا أذقلن رابيدمون وأعطيكم صحة.
The state continues to implement the President of the Republic's decisions aimed at strengthening social protection and supporting citizens' purchasing power. Details with Melissa Kabesh.
The state's commitment to preserving social stability continues through the implementation of key decisions taken by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, aimed at supporting various social groups and strengthening citizens' purchasing power. These measures, which take effect starting this year, include increases in the national minimum wage, retirement pensions, and unemployment benefits. Retirement pensions have been raised by 10% for retirees whose monthly pensions do not exceed 20,000 dinars and by 5% for those above that threshold. In the same context, the national guaranteed minimum wage has been revised upward, increasing from 20,000 dinars to 24,000 dinars, effective this month. This comes in addition to wage increases implemented in previous years. Unemployment benefits have also been increased to 18,000 dinars, reflecting the President's strong focus on social protection and job creation. The head of state has instructed the National Employment Agency to enhance its role in effectively guiding job seekers and fulfilling its assigned missions. These decisions illustrate a comprehensive state approach that combines social and economic dimensions, strengthens good governance, and supports vulnerable social categories, while ensuring sustainable development and placing the citizen at the heart of public policies in line with the principle of a social state. Furthermore, and in response to citizens' needs ahead of Eid al-Adha, the President of the Republic has instructed the Ministry of Agriculture to import 1 million sheep.
And Naftal takes proactive steps to regulate tire distribution across the country. Citizens can now access high-quality tires at competitive prices while tracking availability through the company's transparency-focused app. Basmafal with more details.
As part of efforts deployed to meet the needs of heavy transport professionals and logistic operators, Naftal has received 30,000 heavy-duty tires from its German partner out of a total quota of 200,000 tires under the contract signed between the two companies.
We have signed a second contract with the Italian company for the import of approximately 500,000 tires. An initial shipment of 20,000 tires is expected during the second half of January. As for light-duty tires, a third contract has been signed for the import of nearly 1 million tire. An initial batch of 40,000 is currently being received.
This step is part of Naftal's strategy to strengthen the supply of the national market and ensure the steady availability of this essential product.
We are currently receiving heavy-duty rubber tires, which will be supplied to public institutions as well as private companies and individual operators contracted with Naftal. These tires will also be available to citizens through Naftal service stations and privately owned stations.
The marketing of these tires will be carried out through Naftal centers distributed across the entire national territory under a well-organized process.
سوف تلزم مسيري المحطات
Naftal will require private station managers and tire sellers to sign commitments obliging them to apply the same prices set by Naftal. These tires are of high quality, meet international standards, ensure driver safety, and are offered at competitive prices.
السائق وهي معروضة بأسعار تنافسية.
In line with the principle of transparency, the Naftal Services application allows citizens to locate where tires are available and to view the approved prices.
Accompanied by the General Director of National Security, Ali Badawi, the Minister of Interior, Local Authorities and Transport, Said Sayyoud, chaired on Thursday a graduation ceremony of the 62nd Unified Promotion of Police Agents of December 28, 2024 at the Application School of National Security Abdelmajid Bouzid of Somaa in the province of Blida. The promotion was named after the martyr of national duty, Jagboub Saleh. The ceremony was attended by government members, national organizations, representatives, and families of the graduates. To the weekly report of the PNA from the 1st to the 6th of January. As part of fighting terrorism, PNA detachments arrested 7 elements backing terrorist groups in different operations throughout the national territory. As part of the fight against organized crime and in continuity of tireless efforts aimed at countering the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the PNA intercepted, in coordination with the different security services in operations across the military regions, 28 drug traffickers and thwarted attempts to introduce 3.87 quintals of processed beef through the borders with Morocco, while 4.4 kilograms of cocaine and 155,943 psychotropic tablets were seized. In Tamrazet, Port Baji Mukhtar, and Ilizi, detachments of the People's National Army arrested 208 individuals and seized 30 vehicles, 312 generators, 192 jackhammers, as well as quantities of mixture of raw gold and stones and other equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. On the other hand, 14 other individuals were arrested, and 1 automatic pistol, 1 hunting rifle, 29,527 liters of fuel, as well as 7 quintals of tobacco and 8 tons of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation were seized. Similarly, border guards arrested 311 illegal immigrants of different nationalities across the national territory. In Morocco, winter continues to deepen social hardship. Heavy rains have exposed failing infrastructure, overstretched public services, and growing inequality, leaving vulnerable communities to face the consequences alone. Basmafar with the details.
In Morocco, winter is often synonymous with additional hardship, especially for vulnerable communities. Flooded streets, failing public infrastructure, and hospitals operating almost out of service. This is the reality on the ground. This alarming situation reflects a system marked by mismanagement, corruption, and political repression.
The rains destroyed everything here. Our houses are completely submerged. We can no longer move. There is only one tractor to help us. Now it is no longer in service. Since then, no one has come. In 2012, we were expelled from our land without any compensation. We were wronged. We are victims of the Makhzan. This is a great injustice. We have nothing left. Only God remains. Who will restore our rights? The state expelled us from our homes. Today we are living in the streets. This is pure injustice. We have nothing left. No one is helping us.
Human rights organizations in Morocco warn that this suffering reflects a deeper national crisis. They point to laws that strengthen state authority while restricting the role of civil society and limiting public freedoms. According to these organizations, arbitrary detention, corruption, and the absence of legal remedies continue to undermine citizens' rights, a form of governance that prioritizes power and security at the expense of the most vulnerable.
And the genocide is still ongoing in Gaza as the Zionist entity continues its barbaric attacks. The east of Khan Yunis, Bir al-Balah, and El Bureid camp are still being targeted and bombed. In the last 24 hours, the bodies of 4 martyrs and 7 wounded were transferred to the hospitals, while several bodies are still under the rubble. Since the beginning of the ceasefire on the 10th of October 2025, several Palestinians were killed and injured. And we wrap up our edition with this amazing footage of breathtaking landscapes of various regions in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Have a good night.